now in the Black Box with Spider Loke, Most Easty, aka BJ Keyway, and the Google Gang.
Let's go! Listen,
Cheetah, gratitude is the attitude. Show is a blessing. To be back in the Black Box. Black Box.
Relax, roll up as we randomly react to content in these YouTube streets.
yeah.
It's time for R&R.
Sniper Net Hustle. Big shout out to my SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the Black Box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
The constant, consistent, continuous content creation campaign continues. Jeter, Google Gang. Those are the 7 C's and the 3 G's. Y'all see the title. It's a whole lot going on. It's a War in Cali series. You know our theme song for that is Part of War. So with no further ado, let's see what these 3 teams, well, just these teams that was beefing have been up to.
Welcome back to another episode of War in Cali. In this episode, I will detail several tragic events in multiple teenagers' lives. In 2014, San Francisco experienced a murder rate of 4 per 100,000 people. There were 3,267 robberies reported in 2014. The numbers of burglaries reported in the city was 5,000. There were 34,284 cases of larceny and theft reported in 2014. The number of aggravated assault cases increased more than 17%. Auto theft cases were up roughly.
It's crazy. When I think of War in Cali, I always think of Southern California. I forgot he covers the entire Cali. Good shooting on my mama.
5%, and arson cases increased by roughly 6%, and a lot of crimes were up from the previous year of 2013. There were 463 firearm arrests in 2014, up from 413 the previous year, representing a 12% increase. The total number of fatal and non-fatal shooting victims was 194, and 45 of those shootings were fatal. A 14-year-old named Rashawn Williams would unfortunately be one of those 45 people to die. Rashawn Williams was a 14-year-old who would grow up in San Francisco's Mission District.
14 is so young.
Rashawn, known by his friends and family as Sean Nito, or Nito, was Salvadorian on his mother's side and black on his father's side. Rashawn attended the bilingual Buena Vista Horace Mann K-8 school and was known as an exceptional child and student. Rashawn was said to be one of the brightest students in the school by many of his teachers, always participating in debates and always being one of the first students to raise his hand and answer questions. Rashawn was a big brother who had multiple siblings he looked out for. He set a good example for his younger siblings. Rashawn also had a major interest in sports, playing sports most of his life. One of his main sports he loved was football. Rashawn's ambitions were said to have been high, working a summer job in the summer of 2014 before being accepted in Sacred Heart Prep High School. Before his freshman year, Rashawn was an honor student with a 4.0 GPA and a fluent Spanish speaker. Rashawn had been a standout in his previous football program and had signed up for his high school's freshman team. According to his family, he received a $20,000 academic scholarship to Sacred Heart and will often tell his mother he was aiming for Harvard University. But besides all the good, Rashawn was said to have always had a beef and a rivalry with a kid he went to Horace Mann K-8 school with for several years named Luis. Many different accounts will be said from Rashawn's family and Luis' family telling different stories. Rashawn's family will say that Luis was a troublemaker and bully who always tried to bother Rashawn. And Luis's family would say it was a mutual dislike that led to several different altercations and even led to some online beef between the two boys. While Rashawn was getting accepted into prep school, Luis was going down his own path. Both young boys wouldn't see much of each other anymore, but the events of September 2nd, 2014 will lead to several events that cost both teams their lives. September 2nd, 2014, 14-year-old Rashawn.
And that was my junior birthday 11 years ago. So he was 7. Oh, my mama.
His brothers, 12-year-old Julius and 6-year-old Zamel, walked to a corner store called Rubens Market on 26th and Folsom in the Mission District. Rashawn and his family were often shoppers at the store. Rashawn and his little brothers bought candy and began to walk out the store, but they would unfortunately run into 14-year-old Luis and another boy named Miguel. Once the boys bought their candy and snacks, they stepped outside, where the store owner of Rubens would witness everything. Ruben's owner said 2 boys were waiting. One boy had a knife, and that one boy stabbed Rashawn, and then they ran away. Ruben's owner said the suspects ran north on Folsom Street, and the wounded Rashawn ran east on 26th Street. Minutes later, he said police swarmed the area. Rashawn's mom drove him to St. Luke's Hospital, but Rashawn was transferred to San Francisco's General Hospital because his injuries were severe enough to require a trauma unit. Upon arriving at San Francisco General Hospital, Rashawn was pronounced dead. Rashawn's death would hit his family and his community hard. Many people would speak out against what happened, trying to help find the suspects responsible for Rashawn's death. Candlelights and several community events will be held in his honor.
Tonight at 6, tragedy strikes a San Francisco family. A 14-year-old football player and straight-A student is stabbed to death while leaving a corner store in the Mission District. Tonight.
Weeks after Rashawn's murder, 14-year-old Luis was solely identified as being connected to Rashawn's murder. The other suspect at the time was not identified, and Luis wouldn't snitch or tell police who the other suspect was. Many saying he was stricken to the street code, even though he said he wasn't a gang member.
In Akron, 4 San Francisco police are now confirming that the person arrested for the stabbing of a Sacred Heart freshman is also 14 years old.
Another 14-year-old, Rashawn Williams, who was a freshman football player at Sacred Heart Cathedral Prep. ABC 7 News reporter Katie Marzullo is live outside the corner store in the Mission where it happened. Katie.
We have just learned that both the victim and suspect are the same age, but since the suspect is a juvenile, his name will not be part of the public record. The community here is just devastated. You can see where it happened, a large crowd that continues to grow. They're leaving flowers and candles and balloons, even.
With that last name, with that name, Rashawn Williams, I guess he black, but this is an interracial type. There's some Ruizes. It's crazy up north how they just, everything be blended into one culture.
Handmade posters with Rashawn Williams' picture on them. So the loss certainly felt here, but also at his high school. He was only a week and a half into a promising academic career.
Prosecutors met with Rashawn's family members, who submitted hundreds of signatures, including almost 2,000 from an online petition on change.org, urging the district attorney to charge Luis as an adult, even though he was 14 years old.
How you gonna do that? Doubt that happened.
Rashawn's family also blamed the school that the 2 boys went together for his death, stating that Luis has always been a problem with Rashawn's life, stating several examples like saying Luis threatened Rashawn's life over Facebook, and the school had the 2 boys sent down for mediation, in which Luis allegedly signed an agreement to stop the harassment. 2 days later, Rashawn's family said Luis sent other guys to go out and beat Rashawn up at school, and they were never suspended. So Rashawn's family blamed the school because they never truly handled the situation. By December of 2014, the Public Defender Office of San Francisco will state that Luis did not commit the stabbing. The video of the stabbing, which the district attorney office and San Francisco police had for months, was released by an effort to get the charges dropped against Luis, who remained in juvenile detention by this time. Luis' public defender was asking for the case to be dismissed. The district attorney's office, which objected the release of the video, did not directly charge Luis as an adult, which it could have been done. Instead, they asked for the court to review whether or not he should be tried as an adult. Grainy video captured by a public housing surveillance camera across the street from the crime scene at the intersection of Folsom and 26th Street revealed in color the events surrounding Rashawn's death. By January of 2015, charges against Luis in the murder were dropped. Luis' public defender said Luis had been put as the person who stabbed Rashawn, but the video surveillance footage exonerates his client and shows that another male at the scene stabbed him, and Luis was innocent, in which he was released from juvenile detention free of all charges.
Surveillance video that led authorities to the conclusion that a teenager arrested for murder was not the one who committed the crime. Good evening.
Ashley, prosecutors now believe that he was not the killer, the person who stabbed a young teenager to death. And while they are still not convinced he wasn't involved in some way, for now, he's out of jail and no longer facing charges.
Now the main suspect has been released from a juvenile detention center. The district attorney dropped the charges against the teenager and former classmate of the victim today.
You have to look at every piece of evidence in any case. You have to look at what people will be able to testify to in court. You have to look at forensic evidence.
He came up on my mama.
You have to really talk to experts. You have to see what occurred in a particular case.
But public defender Jeff Adachi says surveillance video was the key.
Luis walked away from the crime innocent, which he was released from juvenile detention free of all charges. But this story wouldn't end here. Rashawn's family would continue to fight for justice, hoping to bring down Luis and Miguel one day. Miguel and Luis were both seen in the video before Rashawn's death, but Miguel, who stabbed Rashawn, was never charged, and Luis was arrested but released and free of all charges after a while. But karma let it strike a year later. On December 9th, 2015, the 17-year-old Miguel was shot at 3:20 a.m. His friends drove him to San Francisco General Hospital, but he died later that day from multiple gunshot wounds to the torso. Miguel was San Francisco's 47th murder that year, and his killers were never arrested. Now, one of the two suspects in Rashawn's murder were no longer living, but another 4 years later, more karma would strike. By 2019, Luis was a 19-year-old who allegedly had changed his ways. He had family history in the streets, and he allegedly was leading towards that way until he made a change. His father would say his son was a blossoming young man who put himself in social justice circles, and he fought for the closure of juvenile halls and mentored young men on their way there. Luis's father will also state that his son took part in several programs in various cities in the Bay Area. He also mentioned how his son felt deeply about Rashawn's death and how it deeply affected him. But even if he started to change, your past can affect your future. On September 8th, 2019, 5 years after Rashawn's death, and 4 years later after Miguel was killed, Luis was helping his girlfriend's mother move and was driving to get dinner with her family when he stopped to put air in his tire. Luis and his girlfriend pulled over on the 300 block of Ross Street near Crocker Playground to call her mother when someone opened fire on their car. Police said a gunman approached his car and shot him 17 times in the neck, shoulder, and chest. Luis's girlfriend, who tried to pull him out the way, was shot twice in the arm. The alleged shooter was Julius, Rashawn's little brother. Julius was only 12 years old when he watched his brother Rashawn be murdered right in front of him, so 5 years later at 17, he was allegedly out for revenge, and he was arrested 2 weeks after the shooting. Luis's family members placed much of the blame on police on Luis's death. They would say had investigators arrested Rashawn's killer, it might have brought some comfort to Rashawn's family.
That was a cold revenge vengeance plot. Ooh-wee. Get my weight up with my hate and pay him back when I'm bigger.
Friends, while reaffirming Luis didn't do it, taking the target off his back. Luis's father and family believed the world painted Luis off to be a bad guy.
Lawrence Fishburne looking face looking at him.
When he was not the killer, but many felt like he still played a role. By 2024, Rashawn's brother Julius was still fighting his case, which is said to have surveillance in the shooting against Luis. It currently seems like he's still fighting his case, but the outcome hasn't been put out to the media. One tragic event led to several other tragic events. Now this left 3 teens dead and several families grieving. Now another person behind bars facing a life sentence. Life comes at you at full circle sometimes. Rashawn was killed at 14 in 2014. The alleged suspects being Miguel was killed a year later in 2015, and Luis, who was killed in 2019, 5 years later after original murder by Rashawn's little brother, who witnessed his brother being killed. This was a crazy story, but karma never has a date. This will conclude this episode. If you haven't already, check out my previous episodes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, that. Send your troops, cause we get busy, we don't play about shit. Let the busters off the hook and catch the big fish. Yeah, that. Send your troops, cause we get busy, we don't play about shit. Let the busters off the hook and catch the big fish. Patron with the lemon twist, just hit a big lick. All in Vegas got me feeling like a rich crip. Hold on, same jersey, I ain't never switched. Stay at the gun range, I promise I don't never miss. I dare a nigga to pull up on my passenger seat. The block full of hot boys, it's like 400 degrees. Been gangbanging since a juvenile, check the files. It's gonna be some shit you gon' see that make it hard to smile. Like Pac said, a whole lot of bloodshed, it's part of war. Like UPS, show up at your door, special delivery. Mac with the shoulder strap, feeling like it's into me. Bomb cushion Hennessy in my system, that chopper got distance. No James Bond, but I'm back on my mission. My uniform be the Michigan, counting money. And ain't gon' post it on my Snapchat to count funny. Hell no, I know my mathematics be in public. They always ask me if I'm still rapping, still crippin'. I ain't no rapper, better check my status. Show up at the meetings, phone season be the reason. Baby mama still can't believe that nigga stop breathing. We don't wanna get even, we tryna get over. It's war with the enemies, but with the homies, squabble from the shoulder. I hit a lick and pass, call my luck like nigga we up. Feeling like Kobe in the last game. Cause I go hard in the clutch. These niggas mutts, I hang with pit bulls and Rottweilers. Type to squabble up and bomb on niggas like Deontay Wilder. That 40 bark and then get louder and louder. Shot spotters going off, the neighbors waking up and coming out of their houses. Yeah, this shit fucked up. That's just how the ball bounce. Shooting dice for 4 hours and smoked up a whole ounce. Popped the top off the Remy, feeling like that Charger with the Hemi. Squabble good, losses I can't name any. Chin up, chest out, niggas just be chasing clout. Better use that GPS, I make a nigga switch routes. Free the tiny max like baby psych and bad news. Hurt my motherfucking soul when I heard that bad news. Shining with a rollie on, smash like Donkey Kong. Every time we went on them missions, we brought a trophy home, a lonely road. Nightmares that the homie told, cause I fucked the bitch that he loved, and I ain't even know it. I been through so much pain, but I don't even show it. Don't ask me if I want some get back, nigga, you know it. It's part of war. Show up at your front door. It's part of war. What the fuck you think we do it for? It's part of war. Little homies trying to up the score. It's part of war. My nigga, we love war.
Neighborhood Nip Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned, all that.
It's the homie Cook-Up Boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake Show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Low.
Here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch!
My nigga is Spider Low. Spider Low, nigga.
Spider Low.
It's Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
Spider Low.
So Spider looks at me because we go back to the juvenile side of the county.
What the fuck?
My nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Low. Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
Spider Low, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loke is in LA somewhere doing what he's doing.
In the words of Spider Loke on my mama's mama.
Spider Loke's gear. This is Bay Mac.
Nate Bud, C-Mac. Shout out my Loke, Spider Loke, huh? Nate Bud on Hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, Craig.
Point blank, through no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
I overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
You are now in the black box. Whoa. With Spider Loke, Most Easty, aka VJ Keyway, and the Google Gang.
Let's go!
Hey, yo, before you go, do me a favor. That video right here on the screen, yeah, click that. YouTube say you'll love it. On my mama.